In this tutorial, we are going to take audio from one phone that recorded just the audio and another phone that recorded video and audio and sync up the two audio tracks and then replace the audio-video track's audio with the audio from the other phone. This is useful when you want to use one phone as a video camera and another phone as a microphone. It's useful in journalism, it's useful in filmmaking. There's lots of reasons why you would want to do this. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate this now using Adobe Premiere. If you want to see a tutorial where I talk about how to record the audio, how to set it up for a news style package, I'll have the link for you in the description as well as a thing you can click on right there. Look at the first half of that video, and then as I get into DaVinci Resolve, you'll want to switch back over to this tutorial where I talk about doing the exact same thing but using Adobe Premiere. First off, I'm going to have a new project in Premiere. I've already clicked the new project icon, and I'm just going to call this News Interview. And I'm going to put it, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the default location for Premiere, so I'll just go ahead and put it in my Documents folder. That's going to be just fine for me, and I'll select OK. Opens up our default interface for Premiere. And what I need to do right here down here, it says import media to start. I do have these two files. One of these is a file where I recorded video and audio, and this other file, which is unfortunately MP3, is where I recorded just audio. So this is the exact same situation. It's where I was recording a news style package. It's just that this one has video as well as trashy audio that was because it was recorded with the video, essentially the same phone. And then I have this one where I was holding that phone out toward the person I was talking to. So this is going to have much, much better audio. So go ahead and just click those and drag them in. Now you're going to have to figure out how to get these files into your file system. That's just, I use a Mac and I use an iPhone. It's really easy for me. If you're using a PC or another phone, it might be a little bit more challenging to get the video file, the audio file in, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure that out with the apps that you're using. I'll go ahead and switch over to Premiere, and now I have these two files. So I'll go ahead and just take this video file, and I'm just going to drag it right here onto my sequence. And it's going to start a new sequence. And I'm just going to take the playhead now and I'm going to drag into the part where we were actually doing the interview. I did set this up quite a bit, and there's plenty of setup where we don't actually need to see that. So I'm just going to go ahead and just bring the playhead a little bit forward in time. Now I've got the audio here as well. This is just the audio. I'm going to click that and I'm going to drag it down and I'm going to put it below the audio that's already existing. So what I have here is I've got my video track, which is what we can see up here. I've got the audio that's linked to the video track. This is the audio that was recorded with the same phone that recorded the video. And then I have this audio, which came from a phone that I was holding out here just below the frame line, closer to her mouth, so we'd get much better audio with that. So now what we need to do is we need to sync this up. Now there are some automatic ways to do this, but we really, for me, I want us to get to know these waveforms. And if I start to move this back, these should be close to being the same length because we recorded just about the same amount of time. So what I need to do now, I've already gotten my audio all the way to the beginning of the sequence, so I'm going to bring the audio and video a little bit backwards in time, and I'm just kind of looking at the two waveforms. In fact, I'm just going to expand the size of both audio tracks down here, and that's going to increase the size of the waveforms. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for things to look kind of the same. If we look at this, maybe if I bring the playhead here, and I'm going to hit Command plus sign on my keyboard. If you're on a PC, it's going to be, just plus sign. Got to remember which program I'm using. Premiere uses just the plus sign. Now it's the plus sign that also has an equal sign with it. It's right next to the backspace key, not the one that's on a numeric keypad if you've got that. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for just kind of peaks that may look like they look like the same thing. I've got something down here and I've got something here that kind of looks like they might be matching. So I'm just going to go ahead and move the video. And as soon as I do that, I can see that I'm on the right track. Right? I've got this hump here, I've got this little bit, I've got a valley here and a valley here. I've got high stuff here, high stuff here. I mean, this looks really, really close. Now, obviously, the peaks on this one are larger, but that's just because I've zoomed into this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play this because it's really important for us to ensure that we've got these perfectly matched. We shouldn't hear any sort of echo when we play this. So I'll just hit the space bar. So we actually are probably a little closer than we're supposed to be. But that's okay, we live in the same house. And as you can tell, there's just that very, very slight echo. So I've got the right spot. I'm on the right track, but I'm not completely perfect. So I'm even going to zoom in even further. I'm going to hit the plus sign and zoom way in. And I can see as I zoom way in, I can tell that these things are not aligned perfectly. So I'll just take the video and the audio file, move it to the right, even a little bit more. And I'm getting lots closer for sure. In fact, I may have gone too far. I might just hit Command Z to undo, or Control Z if you're on a PC. I'm going to spacebar that. We're supposed to be. So very, very close now, but not spot on. I might go as I see these humps here and these humps here. It looks like to me we've got to move to the right a little bit more. There, that's going to be really, really close. We can see that as this dips down, so does this. Let's go ahead and play it. But that's okay, we live in the same house, right? All right. Now that's what you're going to hear when this is perfectly aligned. It's going to sound almost a little bit hollow. There's not going to be any echo at all, but it might sound just a tiny bit hollow, and that's just what happens when you have two sources of audio that recorded the exact same thing being played back at the exact same time. So I have this perfect now. I'm going to go ahead and save it, Command S or Control S, just because I know how much these editing systems can crash. I like to save often. And I'll hit my minus sign, it's really the dash key on the keyboard, to zoom out just a little bit. And what I'm going to do now is I want these clips to be the same length. I'm going to go ahead and just bring the playhead back here to the beginning, right as the interview really started. That's really what I'm looking for. And I'm going to come over to my tools and I'm going to hit my blade tool, C on the keyboard, the razor tool. And I'm going to blade both the audio and video clip right on the playhead, as well as the audio clip itself right on the playhead. And then I'm going to drag the playhead to the end. Looks like about right there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to blade the audio and video, and I'm going to blade the audio. So I've made cuts here, I've made cuts here. I'm going to go back to my arrow tool, V on the keyboard is a shortcut in Premiere. I'm just going to draw a box that starts up here and includes all of those clips, and I'm going to delete them with my backspace key. And I'll do the same thing over here. Anything the box encompasses or touches is going to be included in the selection. I'll hit delete as well to delete that. So now I've got perfectly aligned audio with two clips that are the exact same length, duration, in and out points would be the exact same as well. As far as we're concerned, this moment in time has the correct audio for both the one attached to the video segment as well as this audio down here that was literally recorded with a different device. Now what we need to do is we need to unlink this video from its audio. I'm just going to demonstrate here. I'm just going to move this. Notice that the audio moves with it. We want to unlink that so that that stops happening, and we want to link this audio to this video. I'm going to hit Command Z to undo just so that that goes back where it was. And I'm going to right click on the video and I'm going to select Unlink. That then unlinks the video and audio. I'm going to deselect by clicking out here where there's nothing. And I'm just going to single click the audio now and hit the delete key. So we get rid of the audio that was recorded on the phone that recorded the video, and we're left with the audio that was recorded on the phone that was closer to her mouth. Now I want to link these two up. So I'm going to select the video just with a single click. I'm going to hold the Shift key down and select the audio. That selects both of them. Hit the right click on my mouse, and I'm going to select link. One unlinks, the other one links. That's exactly what we want to have happen. Now, as I move this, you can see the audio moves with it. It doesn't matter what I do with the video, that audio is going to come with it, and it's always going to stay in sync, which is exactly what we want. Now I'm going to hit the spacebar here. But that's okay, we live in the same house. And I just wanted to verify that I was getting audio out of both the left and the right channels, and indeed I am. So it did import this audio as mono audio. If for some reason you're not getting both the left and the right channel, if you're not seeing two green peaks right here when you play this, you'll want to right click on the audio and select Audio Channels. And you'll see two audio channels here. I've only got one, and that's because this was recorded in mono. If you record it in stereo and you only have audio on one track, then you'll want to make sure you'll have two different checkboxes here. You'll want to change the location of those checkboxes until you get audio coming out of both the left and the right channel. Mine's perfectly fine. I'm going to hit cancel and not worry about it. So now I've got this clip that's all synced up with the proper audio, and I'm just going to click that and drag it over into my bin. And it's going to say, you want to merge clips? And I'm going to say, yes, I want to merge clips. I'm going to call this interview. And I'm going to say, okay. And now I've got this interview. If I double click this, brings it up here just like any other clip in Premiere. If I hit the space bar. Yep, so we actually are probably a little closer than we're supposed to be. But that's okay, we live in the same house. That is the exact audio that I want to have happen. So now I've got the clip, it's perfect. It's different from this clip because this has the bad audio. This one that I've titled Interview has the good audio. And that's how you do it in Premiere. If you want to look at the other video, you can see how I do this in DaVinci Resolve. And if you have any questions or comments, do put them in the comments section, or otherwise get a hold of me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Take care.